Hello everyone, welcome back to RetroComs. In honor of Halloween or Dia de los Muertos, depending on where you're from, today's episode is going to be about dead phones. It might not look like it, but what you see in front of you is a graveyard, full of mortified motherboards, terminated touchscreens, and deceased devices. We'll proceed through looking at some of these and a few of the more interesting cases here and see exactly what caused some of these devices to fail. Now, this whole stack, all the way down here, most of those are smartphones. Well, all of this side is smartphones, but most of them have the same problem: cracked screens. Of course, you have a big hunk of glass on the front of something that's used every day, it's probably gonna break at some point. Now, the notable exception to this is this Samsung Galaxy S5, and while it does have a minor crack, it does not prevent this device from being used. What does prevent this device from being used is a busted charging port. Now, you could get an external charger or have a friend swap batteries with you if you have the same phone, which is an S5, but that's not ideal for using a device as your daily driver. Most of these are older model devices, flip phones, and candy bars, things of the like, but they are by far not the most interesting cases I've seen. I'll show you a few of those over here. I had them pulled out especially for this video. These two handsets here, their cause of failure is not interesting, but their brand is. They're AudioVox. They're the only two AudioVox devices that I have. Both of them look and feel solid, but their batteries are so old that they no longer hold a charge. That's a common issue with most of these older devices. Now this is a Motorola MicroTac. Its issue is purely cosmetic, but I can't display it in my collection with that. I might need to find some epoxy or resin or some kind of adhesive or sealant to fix that crack. You thought only smartphones could crack. Here's another example of that. This pretty and pink Motorola Razr that has seen better days. You can see signs of wear all over the frame. This is a model V3, no camera hump, SIM slot. It's a V3, but it is in bad shape. Now you can't see it, but on the main screen inside, there are also little lines at the bottom. I don't know what causes that. And this Moto Q8, I believe, she just needs some love and some new parts and a battery. Battery issues will be a common thing throughout this video, so be prepared for that. As for this Moto, its battery might be fine, but I have no way to tell because the screen doesn't work. If you can flip it out and it flops around like this, the ribbon cable is probably gone. It does not work in its current state, obviously. And the main problem with it is this front half is not communicating with the motherboard. Now we have this slider. It's a neat little slider. However, I can't get its battery to take charge. So, and it does have a weird proprietary charging port up here, but I have that connector. This is a bad battery. I need to order a new one, but I don't know if they have that for something so obscure. And more battery issues. This nice wood grain Nokia here does not have a working battery either. It's one of those pack style, almost like the old landline handsets. I doubt I'd be able to find one of those either. Same with this Nokia here. It needs a new battery. I don't even think this one has a battery in it. So, those batteries degrade over time. More devices that are proof of that are all these Blackberries. They all have the same problem. They don't have a working battery. But this one here is not a Blackberry. It is a Palm device. It is the only Palm device I have, and again, missing a battery. Let's put all these Blackberries back where they go. So, apparently I just need to order a big old stack of Blackberry batteries to try and get some of those up and running again. Then we have this. This is a low-end model, but no matter how much it cost, it didn't deserve this. I don't know what happened to this poor thing, but it is not fit for duty anymore. This one's obvious. Busted screen. Same with this HTC here, and it's a shame. I love these early HTCs. I mean, this one had a kickstand. You don't find that on today's devices. Everybody's using pop sockets now. I think that's what those are for. I don't use one of those. And this little LG, I showed this one off in another one of my videos. But in case you missed it, the camera can rotate. No need for a notch or two different cameras when the entire lens can rotate. I don't know how that held up over time, and I have no way to check because this front screen in here is busted. That was very, very disappointing. I wish this phone worked. I'll have to look for parts for it online. This Nokia, probably another battery issue, but the most apparent thing is the degradation of this soft touch plastic back here. That's also common among phones that have this. It'll get flaky or it'll get sticky. I might do a video on how to remove that stuff at some point. Now we have this LG slider. Nothing's wrong with it per se, but it's locked with a PIN number. I can't access it. And if I can't access it to factory reset it, I can't admit it into the collection. So it stays in the dead pile for now. And on to another LG. This one looks fine, but take my word for it, the charging port in here, I can open this flap with my left hand, one-handed. This port is busted. If I plugged a charger into it, the port itself would come out off of the motherboard. Soldering those back on is a royal pain. So, the only hope for this phone is if I get a new motherboard for this type of LG. Which they were pretty common. They weren't the most durable things in the world, but they were pretty thin and pocketable. Common among Altel users, as you can see. So, there's hope for this one, if I find another like it. And now this one. Another busted smartphone. And it's obvious what happened here. If you can read my handwriting there, the display on that one is gone. And never mind this green bag that says pink on it. That's a bag of old batteries. I never know when I might need that. But just when you think we're done, here is a bag of weird, interesting, or just strange cases. Like this little Motorola V3A. It's got a strange graphical glitch to where it'll show some kind of rainbow effect on the screen. I don't know what causes that, but I've tried 2 different motherboards on it, so I'm beginning to think it is the screen itself. I'll have to find a replacement for that. This is a Motorola Droid Bionic, I believe. And it has some kind of firmware issue. You'll see that that's not too uncommon on those old droids. Here is a large Alcatel phone, and it will not power on when the charger is connected. I think it's a battery issue, but I'm not certain, and I don't have another battery to try out. This little LG slider does not stay powered off when I power it off. So it stays in here with its battery taken out. It would just be unsettling to have one come on in the night that you didn't even touch. This is a Motorola Droid that won't even power on. I've tried other batteries in it, but it's not giving me any signs of life. So it's staying in here for now with things that I'm not sure what's wrong with. Everything in here, it's either a battery issue or a screen, 9 out of 10, but this is the weird stuff. As with this one, I've tried different batteries in it, but all it will do is show me a little red light on the top right corner. Not sure what's going on with that. To clean the tape off the back of this thing. And like that purple LG, this Samsung will not stay powered off. Can't have that. This is an HTC on Verizon with some kind of... I think the previous owner told me it was the charging port, but it's not behaving typically for a phone with port issues. I'm not quite sure there. And here we have one of the original Galaxies, or the Galaxy S. It also has some kind of odd firmware issue and keeps on boot looping. Now this is a Galaxy S2 that just straight up won't power on. The battery's fine, but it's not showing any signs of life. At least I'm pretty sure it's not the battery. It's not typical behavior for battery issues. And another phone that won't stay powered off. Are all these phones possessed? Do I need to call an exorcist? Why do these phones keep powering on by themselves? This is an HTC Resound. If I can find its charging port. It's a little bit damaged, but a micro USB will still charge this phone. The issue is firmware. Now, it's something I can theoretically fix, but I can't get this phone to read its SD card with a custom ROM. I did not install the custom ROM on it. It came to me rooted and with a custom ROM. I made the mistake of trying to factory reset it and it erased the custom ROM, so I had to start from scratch. So if you're messing with a rooted phone, proceed with caution. Don't factory reset it, or else it'll end up like this. And now, little Pantech touchscreen. Charges via micro USB, or should charge via micro USB, but it will not accept a charge. And another boot loop, or firmware issue, it won't go past the Motorola logo. That's a shame, too. I like these Droid Razr M's. And now the last one is this iPhone. This iPhone 5S, I believe she is. It had an aftermarket or replacement screen put in it, and now it doesn't accept touch very well. Thank goodness I got it to play nice just long enough to get the owner's files off of it. Or the previous owner's files off of it, I should say. And now it's in my collection. As for these, I'm not sure what I could do to get any of these working. Hence, they are over here in a bag full of more like them. These in here, if I ordered batteries, they should work. But these, I don't know. Even after years of trying to fix phones and varying degrees of success with various models, the solutions for these problems elude me. So if any of you know what to do about any of the issues I've mentioned, let me know down in the comments. I hope this video has been interesting for you guys. I know you might have wanted to see live working phones today, but in honor of the season, here are some that don't. As usual, links to my Instagram and RiffValley SoundCloud are down in the description. This is RetroComs, signing off.